What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our Underdog $100 to $10,000 challenge. And you guys can see yesterday was just a terrible, terrible day. Let's look at our live results, man. Let's look at our results. Pick them. Let's look at these. So we had Alyssa Thomas with AJ Wilson, who obviously hooked us by a bucket. That sucks because they were up so much she didn't really play the fourth. She only played 29 minutes. She usually plays 33-ish. So that sucks for us. She would have cashed, obviously, if the game was closer. We had Plummer. Plummer didn't do anything the first half. That one wasn't close, but we had the Skylar Thompson, so we split that slip. Imanaga and Kiki. So Kiki had 13 points, obviously cashes. Imanaga hooked us again. So 2 hooks on this slip. We cashed this one, which I posted in VIP, which was kind of like a hedge on Patrick Corbin because I was worried about Corbin. So I hedged him. It did end up cashing us, so we got some of our bankroll back. We had Corbin and Alexander. So we got a hook on Corbin with Alexander cashing. So that's what, 4 hooks already and a few slips. We had Imanaga and Corbin, double hook on this slip. Yesterday was so annoying, man, because every single play that missed other than Plummer was a hook. And it just frustrated me. I told you guys I crashed out the day before. I was crashing out yesterday, I'm not going to lie. And I'm not crashing out because of like, oh, I'm losing money or whatever. It's more of crashing out because of the way I'm losing. Like, it's so freaking close, man. Our bankroll could be over $600 right now if just a couple of these hooks would hit our way in the last couple of days. But anyways, guys, let's talk about our bankroll. The bankroll's sitting at $216. We're still over double where we started. You can't complain about that. I told you guys on day one of this challenge, I said this is going to be a roller coaster. I said this is going to be one of those like, sports betting is streaky. You'll have 3 or 4 days of winning followed by 3 or 4 days of losing. How you manage your bankroll on those losing days is going to determine how much you profit. So you guys can see we went through a couple days winning. We had a couple days losing. We went through a couple days of cashing every slip. Like, we went up 3.7x our bankroll in less than a week, which is crazy. We have lost about 160 of it, which is 154 actually, which is it's kind of depressing, not going to lie, but we knew it was going to happen, and I've said, like, manage your bankroll. So we managed our bankroll correctly. We went through 2 horrible days. These weren't just bad days. These were horrible days on our challenge. Almost missing every single slip. That being said, we're still double our bankroll. So managing works. I told you guys, if we would have increased our unit size again yesterday or doubled our unit size the day before, like, we would be probably where we started or out of money right now, which is it's good to think of things that way too. If I would have done what most people would have done, then we would be out of money. But that's why you got to play this safe, guys. You got to play it smart. 216 is our current bankroll. We do have a gimme pick for $10, which means we can change a pick to 0, which is cool and all, but whatever. I like that, and we're going to take advantage of that here in this video. But we're going to lock in some of these plays that I like, guys. So one of the plays I like, we're going to start with MLB, is going to be for our man Bergert. So I like Ryan Bergert. We played him as a free pick. I like him to give us 14.5 pitching out. So this is going to be one of those 0.79x slips that you can lock in if you want to play it. I also like, we can go to pitching outs here. And we can look at all of these. So we can take a look at Braxton Ashcraft. I love this Ashcraft line under 17.5. I didn't give this as a free pick, so if you're watching these videos, you're actually getting more free plays. Braxton Ashcraft is one of my favorite plays on the board right now. Let's take a look at it. So Ashcraft has only been a starting pitcher for 3 games. Wait, let's take a look here. If it'll work. He only has 3 starts right now. Outs. 17.5, and he's been under all 3 starts. So this is all he has for the season, man. As a starter, you can see 9, 10, and 15 pitching out. So he pitched 5 innings his last game. Game before that, 10 and 9, and he's pitched 35, 56, and 61 pitches. He does not have a long leash at all. You can see he played versus the Rockies 1 game this season and went 0-1. He wasn't a starting pitcher, so obviously it doesn't still show up head-to-head, but he did give up 13.5 runs in however long. So struck out a lot of batters, but got lit up, man. Got lit up. His whip's 250. His ERA was a 13.50. His whip on the season as a starter is 3.02, or his ERA, I mean, and his whip is a 125. So he's not a bad pitcher in terms of finishing some small innings and stuff like that. But dude's been getting lit up by the Rockies, or got lit up by the Rockies earlier this season. So I like Ashcraft to go under 6. They are playing in Pittsburgh, so he's at home. They're not playing in Colorado, so it's not like a Coors Field matchup, which would make this even better. But I like Ashcraft with that short leash to go under 17.5. And we compare him with Berger, that would give us a 1.75 or 79x, or we can throw in something else, or we can make it a free play to go with it. There's a lot of things we can do. So we can take this to NFL. We could apply a free pick on. I'm not real sure how this works, to be honest with you. There we go. So I could pick who I want to be 0. So we could take Cam Ward higher as 0 or something, and that would give us a regular payout right here for a $10 max. It gives us a 3x. We take off Burger, we have a 2.27x. We could put, it's a $10 max. Lots of ways to do this. Cam Ward, I think, is pretty safe for 0 passing yards, I would think. Let's see here, MLB, and these are raw videos. Remember, guys, these are going to be like, we're kind of looking at the board together here on some of these plays, like this boost, for example. But Ashcraft, I like under. Cam Ward over. That gives us a double up. We might as well just play this safe for a double up, man. I could take Cam Ward off and go with a player that's going to play longer just in case. I mean, Ward completes the pass, right? I could take Joe Milton. Joe Milton will at least complete a pass because he's going to play majority of the game. We could do it something like that. As much as I trust Cam Ward to give us at least one. What's going on here, dude? This website's worse than Parlay Plays. The Parlay Plays is pretty buggy. I'm not going to lie. We can take a player that I know is going to play a lot. So let's go. Joe Milton's going to give us a passing yard. Let's be honest here. He plays too much. He's going to play too much of the game to not. Even though we're playing Joe Milton under a regular line, I like this play a lot. So it's going to be $10 for 22. That's going to be the first one I lock in. I think Ashcraft gives us less than 6 innings. That's just my personal opinion, even versus the Rockies. We can pull Ashcraft up and look at the Rockies. The Rockies in their last 30 games have actually been a pretty decent offense. Their batting average is up from a 241 to a 263, which is 8th in the league. And then their on-base percentage is down from 30th to 18th, which is from right at 30% to 31.5%. Their OPS is from less than 700 to 743. Like, they've been hitting better, man. Tovar has been a little bit weak, but other than that, man, I like Ashcraft under. His pitch count's just really low, so I'm going to risk it on that one. Looking at our next play, we're going to play Ryan Bergert. We're to play as well. So Bergert over 14.5 pitching outs. And then we're going to play him with a strikeout prop lower. So we're going to find us a strikeout prop that we really like. For example, I like Nathan Eovaldi to give 4.5 Ks. I'm not sure what the payout on here is going to be for that slip. We played that slip on Parlay Play for a regular unit size. We could take him at 3.5 Ks and make this pretty safe. Well, if we take him at 4.5, what's the payout difference? So that's a double up. So this is a double up slip. Let's look at Eovaldi 3.5 versus 4.5 Ks and make our decision from that. Eovaldi gets right at 1 strikeout per inning. Good pitcher. Pitches pretty deep into the game. Got a pretty long leash. Ks at 4.5. He's cashed it 71% on the season. 3.5 is 81% on the season. So he only has 4 games where he didn't get 4 Ks. Going versus the Guardians strike out around 22% of the time. Last game they played, he had 5 Ks versus the Guardians. We could play this safe, or we could play this for, I mean, it's only an extra $3 if we, it's going to be 10 to win $20.70, or it's going to be 10 to win, what, $17 and something, 17.10. I'm just going to play it safe, man. I really am. We could do $15 on this, do a unit and a half to win 25. That would win us $10 profit. We could play it safe, man. I like this slip a lot. I really do. Let's do 15. This will be our unit and a half play today. I'm not going to go super heavy today just because of the streak that we've been on. It hasn't been going our way at all on a lot of these. NFL, we were going to play, let's see here. Cam Ward probably gives us 60. He's got bumped a lot, so I'm probably not going to play Cam Ward on here today just because of the difference. For example, this line is 54.5 on Prize Picks, which is where we played him at. So 5-yard difference on somebody who's only going to get 2 to 3 series is most likely. It's a pretty big jump. I do like Easton Stick today. I think did we play Stick at 132? Let me check. We played Stick at 136.5 over on Prize Picks. So 132.5 is a good play. I do like Easton Stick. Easton Stick is probably going to get the entire first half versus Dallas, and you guys have seen how Dallas's defense is not very good. And we got Brandon Aubrey. We can take Brandon Aubrey over and play it that way. We can take Milton under his original line. I like that one too. Milton's struggled a lot. This one is a 3.8x. So Milton's favored to go over. by a decent margin according to this, but the payout's better on the under than it is the over. What if we threw that in for a 6x, man? That's a risky play, but it might not be that bad. Milton could come out. He's going to play a majority of the game. That's the thing about Milton is you don't know what his play. I mean, you know his playing time is going to be about the full game, which is tough. 144 passing yards is not that much for a starting QB against second string defense. It's really not. But Milton has looked absolutely horrendous. I might just play Aubrey with this one. Brandon Aubrey's been pretty safe. Brandon Aubrey's catches every single game. Aubrey's a wagon, man. He really is. It's hard to take Aubrey under. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play $10 on this one unit with Easton Stick and Brandon Aubrey on that game stack if you guys do want to tell that one. And that's going to put us at what? Going to put us at $35 in entry fees so far. 3 slips. I'm going to do a couple more. We do want to do at least one WNBA slip. Try to get back on that one. Can we get Beckers at 14.5? We cannot get Beckers at 14.5. So can we adjust her PRA? 24.5. We can get 0.75. Maybe we can change her points. Maybe it would let me. Yeah, we can get. Dang, they got Beckers on everything, man. 14.5 points is so low for her. We'll do Becker's points, and if we have to change it, we will. Agumike. I'm going to buy her down to, you can buy her down low, man. 12.5. That gives us a 1.4x. If we did a 3-man with Alyssa Thomas, where's Alyssa Thomas at? If we can adjust her, that'd be another good play. 14.5 for Alyssa Thomas. I'm not touching that. No offense. I'm not touching it. Can we take her under? No, we can't buy her under. We could throw in another baseball strikeout prop with this. For example, let's just buy down one strikeout prop. I'm not playing Ashcraft, obviously, but if we bought it down to the bottom, this would give us a 1.7x, which is almost a double up on our play with 2 very strong props, 2 very, very strong WNBA props. So let's take a look at Beckers real quick. There's not much that needs to be seen for Beckers at 14.5 points. I was a little afraid that Beckers wouldn't play tonight because the Wings aren't making the playoffs, but her line's still at 20. So if that was the case, they wouldn't have her line at 20 because everybody would just lock the under. But anyways, Becker's at 14.5 points. She's cashed it in 10 straight games and 17 of her last 20. She's averaged over 20 points per game. She just dropped 44 her last game. Becker's is pretty safe. Agumike, we took Agumike already at 14.5 points. So at 12.5 is an even better discount. And you can see she's cashed it 78% of games on the season, and 6 of her last 7 versus the Wings. She had one game with 12 points. So Agumike is pretty safe. Obviously, they want to win tonight. Like that, and then we could just throw in an extra strikeout prop. So let's find a player that we know strikes out a lot. Max Fried, I can't trust him with the way he's been pitching, to be honest with you. Berger, honestly, I could probably take Berger for K's. It's 3.5. Is that the lowest we could buy it? Yeah, I'm not going to take Berger at 3.5. We got Hauser. Hauser's not a really high strikeout pitcher. Miles Nicholas, we can maybe look at Miles Nicholas. We already have Eovaldi. We're going to mix him up just in case. We got Blake Snell. Snell, versus the Padres, though. Padres don't strike out much, so I'm probably not going to take that, even though it's his old team. He used to play for the Padres, so he could come out here with a vengeance and get a bunch of Ks, but I don't trust it enough to take it. Ryan Nelson, not going to take him. We can look at Quintana versus the Giants. Probably not. Matthews, I don't like. Not a whole lot of pitchers that I like today for Ks. I'm not going to lie to you, to be honest. Taijuan Walker versus Washington at 2.5. Let's look at Taijuan Walker. We played Walker earlier this season, and he cashed us out pretty well. So we can take a look at this one, too. We don't want to play too much of our bankroll today, to be honest, just because we have been on a loss streak. So we want to play this a little bit safer. 2.5 Ks. He cashed 6 of his last 10, 10 of his last 15. He's averaging 6. He's not a high strikeout pitcher at all. I don't even know why I clicked him. We knew that. I'm not going to take Walker for sure. Senzatella for 1.5 Ks. Ugh. He's not a high strikeout pitcher either, and it's versus Pittsburgh. Could just play this, man. Or All right, guys, so for this slip, I've been researching. I'm trying to find a play I like, so I wasn't just sitting there rambling for 10 more minutes. But I like Adrian Hauser pitching outs at 14.5. Hauser's been someone, he came from the White Sox, obviously, over to Tampa Bay Rays. Playing versus St. Louis tonight, playing at home in Tampa Bay. 14.5 is a line he's hit about every single game. So I'm going to pull up Hauser for you just to show you. We can see outs. 16.5 is his original line. They got him at 14.5 on underdog, which he's cashed 13 to 14 games. So this is where he started playing for for Tampa Bay. You can see the game before that was for the White Sox. Everything with the White Sox. But anyways, 3 games with Tampa Bay so far. He had 17, 15, and 15. The only thing that worries me on this one is his last game, he only got 69 pitches. He pitched a full 5 innings still, but they pulled him at 69 pitches. So, not sure why they pulled him. He had 93 and 94 his first 2 starts for Tampa Bay. I'm expecting him to get 80 to 90 pitches again at least tonight. He has a long leash majority of the time. He's been a good pitcher, 267 ERA and a 129 whip this season. Dude's been killing it. 6-4, obviously played for the White Sox, so it's very difficult when you have no run support on that. But anyways, you can see going St. Louis in their last 30 games, worst offense in the league, 30th, 29th, and 30th. 214 batting average, 289 on-base percentage, and a 610 OPS. So it's a great matchup. He has one matchup versus St. Louis from last season. He had 89 pitches and went didn't even finish the 5th. But I expect him to finish the 5th tonight, and I like this play enough to where I'm willing to put my unit on this one. So it's a 1.83x if you lock this in. We're going to put $15 on this one. $15 wins you $27.45, and I really like this play. So we're going to lock it in for a unit and a half. Got that one, and that's probably going to be all that I have for today, guys. So that gives me 2 1-unit plays and 2 unit and a half plays, which is really, really good. Let me check my notes, make sure I don't have anything on my notes that I missed in terms of picks. There is a play that I like, and I'll show you guys. It's Nathan Eovaldi pitching outs. I like Eovaldi to go 6 innings and to not go 7. So you can play him. You can hedge this if you want. You can take him over 17.5 and then under 20.5 on 2 slips if you really wanted to do that. We could do that for a unit. We can play it that way if we want. Let's see here. If we go to... he's the one I like the most on K's. This is one of those... I'm probably not going to do that. I think it's too risky. I don't want to risk anymore after the last couple of days we have. So this is probably going to be all I play. We got Agumike, Beckers, and Hauser on a slip. We got Brandon Aubrey and Easton Stick on a slip. We've got Eovaldi K's bought down with Ryan Berger pitching outs on a slip. And then we have Ashcraft under 17.5 with the free play for Joe Milton. He should give us 1 passing yard. And that gives us a nice little double up as well. So if we were to I can't see the payouts unless I do these individually. So that's a $22.70 win. So $25, 60 something. So that puts us at $48 plus 30 at $77 or $78 plus 27. We're over $100 from this. So this will put us over right at $270 again, which gives us what, 50 something dollars in profit, which is right at 5 units if we sweep. And a lot of these plays I like, man. This has the potential to sweep in my opinion. I think this could be a good day, and I really like these plays. So lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. Apologize for a couple bad days, but it's going to be part of it, and we're going to have more bad days. So just be ready and be aware of it that during this challenge, if you're not managing your bankroll on these challenge, if you have $50 in your account and you're still trying to do the $10 and $15 slips, you're messing up. But you guys can do what you want. I gave you guys a full rundown on how to set your unit size. I recommend following that and sticking to it. I recommend only upping your units when you see me up my units. But hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.